Genius Nation, what's up? Welcome to a brand new day. Super excited that you're here with us on today, wherever you are in the world. I hope your day is getting off to a fantastic start. Always excited for you to join me here inside the nation. For those of you that are watching this on YouTube, when I talk about the nation, I'm referring to our private Facebook group, Genius Nation. So if you haven't joined Genius Nation yet, go over to Facebook after we get done here today and join the group. It's over 1,000 individuals that are committed to living their best life and becoming the best version of themselves. So this is our private get together each morning where for the next 365 days, I'm endeavoring just to pull back the curtain, kind of share my thoughts, kind of share with you how I manage my day, how I run my day, how I operate my 4 companies. And so I would love for you to take the journey with us if you haven't already joined inside the private Facebook group. We're going to be doing a whole lot of fantastic stuff in the upcoming year to help support you, to help motivate you, inspire you, to once again help you become the best version of yourself. So yesterday we talked about living from your core and how that is my philosophy of living a fulfilled life. And so CORE is an acronym that stands for clarity, opportunities, relationships, and experience. So getting clear on how you want to live your life, how you want to exchange your time on this planet, then finding the opportunities that allow you to do that. Then what are the most important and significant relationships to you in your life? And then lastly, the E, how do you want to experience life? And so today I want to talk to you about keeping the main thing, and basically how do you not get overwhelmed? How do you not get overwhelmed? And I'm just going to talk you through, right? So for me, I have 4 companies. I have a consulting company where we do leadership and personal development consulting for Fortune 500 companies. We work with universities. We work with schools. We work with associations and organizations. So that's one company. That's the consultant company. That's Moreland Training and Associates. Then I have a publishing company, a book publishing company called Moreland Publishing. That entity publishes all of my books. I've written over 40 books, and then all the material that we produce for all the programs, it comes through and it funnels through that company. Third company that I have is I'm a professional speaker. So that's Dr. Will Speaks. That's an actual company. That's the brand, Dr. Will Speaks. And so I go out and I do motivational speaking. So that's that company. And then lastly, the 4th company is a real estate company, and that's Moreland Investments. And I use Moreland Investments to leverage my money. And as we journey together, I'll share with you a lot more of the makeup of my company, how we've made it up, how we built it out, and how each entity kind of ties into each other. So those are four companies that I have. So when we talk about keeping the main thing, and we start talking about streams of income, you hear a lot about streams of income and generating streams of income. Well, a lot of people, they get frustrated and they get overwhelmed because one of the things that they do incorrectly is they try to build multiple streams at one time. And the most effective way to get to multiple streams is to focus on one stream, the foundational stream. So for me and my makeup, my foundational stream is my consultant company. It's my consultant company. That's the mainstream, right? That's where you're going to produce the majority of your revenue, right? That's where I produce the majority of my revenue in my mainstream. And then from that mainstream, what happens is other streams are then able to sprout from that mainstream. So when you read things like, millionaires have 7 streams of income, multiple streams of income, it is true, but more likely than not, they focused on one stream, got that stream really powerful, get it on automatic, almost running by itself, where you could have predictable income, right? You can have predictable income. And then usually from that, other opportunities begin to spring out. So the same thing happened for me. I had my consulting company, and because of the success of this consulting company, people started asking me to come and speak about the success of the consulting company, the success of my life, going from a disadvantage to an advantage individual, things like that. So then that's how the speaking came about. Then from the speaking, people wanted to know more. People wanted to connect with me. So I didn't have enough time to connect with all the masses. So I started writing and producing material, started writing books, started creating courses and things like that. So each one is sprouting from the next, right? And then I needed to leverage my money. I needed to grow my money. So I've chosen to use the vehicle of real estate to grow my money. So I didn't try to do them all at one time. They all begin to mature as each individual one would sprout up. So I hope that's making sense. So when I think about keeping the main thing, even when we start talking about social media can in of itself become a job, and it can become a business if you're not careful. And I see a lot of people, they get confused in terms of what the main thing is, right? So even for me, I have to always remember, even though I'm on social media a lot, social media is not my business. Social media is not my business. My businesses are my businesses. Now, there are people that are on social media, and social media is their business. Like you have YouTubers, you have Instagrammers, you have TikTokers, that's their business, right? And so a lot of times what happens is those of us that are running businesses, we get kind of overwhelmed thinking about social media and posting and coming up with social media strategies when that's not really your business. And then what happens, you begin to ignore your business because you're trying to keep up with social media. So this is what I always have to constantly remind myself, even though I'm on social media a lot, social media is not my main business. It's not my main business. So one of the things I do is I have a presence. I have a presence here on Facebook. I have a presence on Instagram. I have a presence on LinkedIn. I have a presence on TikTok. I have a presence on Instagram. I have a presence on YouTube. Do you want to be successful? Like if you could use social media, for me, I use social media for one thing is I use it to build my brand. Another thing I use social media is to build awareness of what I'm doing in my other businesses, especially my consulting company and my speaking. So I use it for awareness. So in any company, you're going to have advertising and marketing and things like that. And so that's what I use social media for, right? To build my brand and to build awareness. But I have to also make sure that I don't get overwhelmed with using social media, because when you're using social media, you can get caught up with the algorithms and this and that and all that kind of stuff, right? So let me say YouTube. So I have a YouTube page, but I'm not a YouTuber, right? YouTube is not my business. I haven't been intentional about monetizing YouTube. For me, it's just, once again, to be honest with you, it's a housing platform. Like these videos right here will be housed on YouTube. And if someone organically sees it, because we don't do ads or anything like that, if somebody organically sees it and it helps them, great. But my focus is not growing my YouTube channel per se. That's not saying I'm never going to do it, but right now, YouTube is not the main thing for me. right? It's a component of my marketing and my advertising, but it's not the main thing. So I have to remind myself, not to get caught up in numbers and things like that. And then people are always reaching out to me like, hey, I can do this and I can do that. I can take you. And that's fine. And that's a day for that. But when we talk about keeping the main thing, you got to remember what really is the main thing. And so for me, my companies are the main thing. Social media is not the main thing. And so I've come up with a system that allows me to be consistent on social media, that allows me to be visible on social media, but I'm not putting per se a lot of thought into social media where it overwhelms me. Does that make sense? And so I want you guys to understand that, because you can get overwhelmed, like trying to keep up with the algorithms and trying to keep up with the Joneses. You got to understand where you are in your business. You got to understand where you are in your business and keep the main thing, right? So now if social media is, a big part of your business, is driving revenue and things like that, then definitely give attention to it if that's working for you. But for those of you, if you're not monetizing these channels, intentionally, then keep the main thing. And that's what's bringing in revenue, right? Inside of our coaching programs, we call it RGAs, revenue generating activities. So if you're not using social media as a revenue generating activity, then don't get all bent out of shape and caught up with it. Do the things in your business that's going to bring you revenue. Do the things in your business that's going to. So for instance, we, across all of my platforms, I post about 50 times a day. Now, that seems like a lot, but it's really not. And I'll share it with you a little later on another video. I just have a system that I put in place that it literally takes me 10 minutes to go across all of my platforms and do my posts, whatever those posts are, stories, reels, posting on TikTok, posting on Threads, posting on Instagram, posting on LinkedIn, posting on Facebook, multiple groups inside of Facebook, posting on YouTube. It literally, if I sit here at my desk with my phone, it would literally take me 10 minutes. And so I do that 3-4 times a day, right? I do that 4 times a day, 10 minutes a piece. So all of my social media takes me about 40 minutes a day spread out over 10 minutes. Right. So it's not overwhelming for me. It sounds overwhelming, but because I have a system in place, and I'll show you the behind the scenes of that on a later video, it doesn't take me that long. And so I do my posts and I move on. I do my posts and I move on. I don't get caught up in scrolling and looking at all this other stuff. I do what I came to do, which was post, and then I move on and I'm back to my business. So I wanted to share that with you today. As we go into the new year, is making sure that you keep the main thing, and not overwhelm yourself. And we'll talk later on about how you can set up effective systems to run your day-to-day so you don't feel overwhelmed. All right, guys, I hope that helped you out today. Go out there and have an amazing day, and I will see you guys right back here inside the nation tomorrow morning.